This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hi guys, rachybop here. Welcome to my Sims 4 Discover University review. Let's get right into it. This has taken me an extraordinary long time to review because it is a huge pack, which is a great thing. I spent at least the first day wondering how I was going to rate this because it certainly has pros and cons, but it's definitely a meaty pack with plenty to keep you going. I'll also be doing a giveaway of this pack courtesy of EA Game Changers, so stay tuned for details of that. Okay, so there's a great cast selection with this, some really quirky items. I mean, some of the stuff is not like the female party stuff is certainly not what I remember wearing at parties when I was at uni, but there's new cast stuff. There's a new aspiration, academic, which is great because then that's going to guide you through the game if you're a player like me that needs the guidance every now and again. Brightchester is the new world. It's absolutely stunning. It looks so good. It's very British and there's loads of new things to do. There's even juice pong on a ping pong table, a really good multifunctional table. So like I said, the world is stunning. You'll find yourself just wanting to bike around and walk around just to look at the scenery. There's little barges that float by on the river or canal, I guess. It's super cute. So this is kind of a playthrough review. I was just writing notes as I was playing, so I'm just going through my story progression, although I did restart with new people and families throughout this. I found it disturbingly easy to just start a storyline flirting with a professor who incidentally hates children, then get pregnant, and then realise I couldn't live on campus as a pregnant sim. Enrollment is a little bit complex at the start. You kind of find yourself thinking, okay, I'm here, how the heck do I get to university? You basically just tap on the mailbox and it gives you certain options. You can get a scholarship, you can apply to university, but it's all just a little bit confusingly worded initially and just takes a bit of time to get your head around, and it also takes a few days before you actually get any acceptance and before you can actually go and take part in the classes and things. So you can spend that time familiarising yourself with the area and how the layout works, I guess. There's heaps of new careers, but there's also heaps of rabbit holes, and the rabbit holes are so disappointing and ridiculous. I know I've seen some gurus tweet saying it would have been repetitive if we put classrooms in, but I honestly don't care because The Sims has loads of repetitive things in it right now, so I would rather have seen my sim sat in a classroom with a bar over their head than nothing. They could have had just the studying animation that they have when you now study, they could have just had that. It would have been fine. They had to show a classroom in the trailer, or at least hint at a classroom as if it's in the game. So that just goes to show how fundamental it is for a pack like this to have a classroom. I mean, luckily I can still say this is a good pack without the classroom, but it was just so necessary for it to have that in, and I think it was a really bad decision not to put it in there. It could have been the perfect pack. The class is on your career bar where it shows you where you go to classes and what you need to do, and not in order, so don't get caught out by that. It took me so long to get my head around how to freaking do the classes, but it is a nice challenge trying to do that, but it will become repetitive, I'm sure, in time. But there's also lots to work towards, so it kind of makes that it puts that incentive there to do it anyway. There are no new achievements. I really miss achievements and wish they'd pop them in when they put new packs in, but overall it's a great experience. The actual dorms are a little bit weird. They're very weird. They seem like minimum effort had gone into those. The Sims don't stick to their rooms. They just sleep in wherever, and getting food is really weird. So there are no kitchens in the dorms, which I find really strange. I've never known a dorm not to have a kitchen, so you have to actually buy the food, or sometimes like food just appears on the table in the dorm. I really don't know where they're getting it from, or if that's meant to be like that. It's very strange. And also because the maps like has so many travel to options, even though there's like 2 dorms right next to each other, you have to travel and get that loading screen to get to the other one. I will say that the dorms are nicely populated, whereas the university worlds are not so populated. So riding a bike is a great addition, but it's also really stupid. Like, some of the routing that they've allowed with this is just shocking. It doesn't work. Like, it's just really, really silly. You can use it inside. It's just wrong, but I do quite like it. It's kind of one of those things that is like a nice, funny Sims thing. It's stupid, but it's not like a deal breaker for me. I think it's quite fun. There's also organisation events that will pop up to help you get that social aspect of university life, and you can head out and do life drawing classes and community meets, and there was a tea and poetry event that I went to that was really cool. There's a million car hints in this pack. Like, there's cars parked around the edges. There's cars parked, there's cars in a parking lot, there's just cars everywhere. If cars aren't coming, then let's be real, cars are probably coming. This is like, why would they do that to themselves? Just circling back to bikes, if you do lose your bike anywhere, because my sim had a habit of riding the bike, getting off it, and then not putting it in their inventory. Although I do like it when they leave it out. Like, sometimes they'll, I don't know, put it in their inventory, it just disappears, and sometimes they'll leave it out, and that's quite nice to see the bike. But sometimes they'll just walk away and leave it, in which case, if you go home, you'll get a message saying, you've got your bike, we've sent it back to you. I didn't know that, and I bought another bike, so there we go. The whole world is kind of like a mixture between England and France. It felt British to start with, the way the buildings are, and how good it looks on a night time, and oh, it's just really nostalgic and lovely. But the whole canal system and the water makes it feel more like Paris to me. It definitely can't be England because we're not allowed to ride our bikes on the pavement. It's illegal. There are like new build buy items. I've looked at them briefly. I've been playing this for a lot of time already, and I still feel like there's so much more to look at, which is great. I want to have dived in deep enough to give my opinion, but I don't want to dig everything up so it completely destroys the pack experience for me, because then it's no fun to play in life. One of the items that I looked at was a new mirror, and I didn't think it was that great because you can like debate in the mirrors now amongst the other things that you could do before, and the height of the mirror was just really naff. I guess it's more for kids, but it's a university item, so I just don't really know what this mirror's about. It could have done with being a little bit taller. I love the design of it, I love the way it just leans against the wall, but yeah, a bit naff. Also, I found a bit of a bug when fixing my server. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's the robots, they're servers. So my server kept breaking, and whenever the guy would come to fix it, it kind of bugged the whole game out and stuff would go wrong. So hopefully that's something they'll fix in the future. So the servers are playable, they have needs, and personally are one of my favourite aspects of the game. They have way more depth to them than I initially thought, and there's lots to discover about them. I think if you started at a time, like a story progression of having a sim who did robotics and then created a server and then lived life as a server or with the server in your household, you'd get so much out of this pack, not to mention all the other stories you could tell, but that as a story in itself will give you a lot of playtime. There's such great detail with this pack, just like even just little things like the sound, the muffled sound of a voice coming through the head of a mascot is just such a great tiny detail that brings life to a pack like this for me. So just some more about servers, because I'm not obsessed at all. Servers can be a caregiver for a person or a child, and servers can give baths. They can do things that you probably think a robot shouldn't do. They can swim, but they will get rusty. So probably don't do that. Why would you do that? Why did I do that? You can change the colour of them, or you can just do so much. You can give them hover mode, which is the coolest thing in the world. They can fly your toddler to bed. Anyway, back to the actual uni part of the game. Going to classes, studying, doing all that is really hard. I got suspended quite a lot. I didn't realise that I had to submit papers via the laptop. I was doing my homework and couldn't understand why I didn't get any of this stuff done. I think personally, so like most of the classes, you do a homework assignment and then you either do a presentation, which you do on a board, or you submit a test, like a final exam, via a laptop. I think personally the homework should have been done at home. Oh, and you also do, like, you can study as well via a university book based on the course that you're doing. That's all really, really great. So you're basically doing what you would be doing in a classroom outside of the classroom because the classrooms aren't there. I think personally they should have had, fair enough, the studying the homework outside of the classroom, but it would have been better if you actually went to the classroom and then clicked on the presentation board and did your presentation in front of a class of Sims, and you had a certain amount of time to do that in, fair enough. Or you go to the classroom and you have a laptop and there's a laptop there and you sit and you submit your paper. I don't understand why that couldn't have been the classroom part of it. I think that would have been 100% better, and I hold out hope that maybe that might be something they open up in the future, because it makes so much more sense, does it not? I think the classrooms are an unnecessary rabbit hole, and because of that reason I'm going to give this pack 4 big fat moos. I would have given it 5 if it wasn't for the rabbit holes, because I like it that much. It's not a theme of a pack that I was overly excited about. I know a lot of the community were, so it's saying a lot for me to give it 4 big fat moos, because it is just a great functional pack with lots of content and lots of play and lots of things to discover and lots of things I haven't seen yet, and I really, really, really like it. But the rabbit holes need to go. Fair enough if they were necessary, but they're not. You've already got the sim doing the things that they would be doing in the classroom. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about this pack down in the comments. And if you would like to win yourself a copy of The Sims 4 Discover University, which you will need the Sims 4 base game to play, of course, there's a link down in the description which you can click with all the details. Basically it gives you little tasks to do, and that will then enter you into the giveaway. You can see the giveaway dates on that link as well. Let me know your thoughts about this pack once you get your hands on it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!